Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is just really me sticking up for Slimming World. You know, if something is on your mind a lot and you keep thinking about it, I think it means that you need to express those feelings. And I'm just a little bit sad by a lot of the bashing that I see Slimming World get. Now, I'll start from the beginning and I'll explain why I'm making this video. So I lost 3 stone in 3 months with Slimming World, kept it off for years and years and years and years and years. And then I became a manager, then I became a consultant and a manager, and I had a very, very successful group. I loved it, and I also had a very successful team, which I also loved, and a really, really good career. Slimming World have got investors in people. They are the most unbelievable company to work for. Like, as soon as you rock up in the car park, everyone's like, hi, and you know, head office is incredible. Everybody's just so lovely. I've probably met some of the most inspirational women I've ever met in my life while I was working for Slimming World, and it gets a bit of a bad rep, and particularly at the moment, and I just kind of want to stick up for them a little bit, really. So I no longer work for them. I haven't worked for them for a couple of years. Obviously I had my twins and then I did step away from that. I've also done calorie counting. I've done a body transformation challenge with a coach a year ago, and now I kind of still, you know, eat the Slimming World way, if you like, but also conscious and mindful of calories too. Now, I'll explain to you really why Slimming World was started. So Margaret Miles Bramwell, who I have actually met, I think she's got a different surname now, hasn't she? So Margaret, who owns the company, who started Slimming World, she's the founder. I believe she was 21 when she started it from her living room, and it's just grown into the biggest slimming organisation in the UK for a reason. And she basically decided that there must be something better out there than just calorie counting, and that's how Slimming World was born. It's gone through a huge transitional period where it started off as the original plan, Sin a Day, I think it was even called at one point. Then it went into red and green, which was my era, so that's what I did, red and green days. Then it progressed into extra easy, and you've had like other plans. It's backed by a leading nutritionist, Dr. Jackie Lavin, and she is just phenomenal. Like, she's amazing. But what Margaret spotted was that calorie counting as a long-term solution to weight loss was quite challenging for a lot of people, and she decided that she could create something better, and that's what she did. So I'll use myself as a bit of an example for you, and then I think you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from a bit. So at the moment, there's quite a lot of black and white thinking where you just have to be in a deficit and then you'll lose weight. You just need to move more and be in a deficit and you will lose weight. Yeah, they're right. They're absolutely right. And they can't get their head around the plan, the Slimming World plan, if you like. And I would imagine that's due to a couple of reasons. I'm not saying that I 100% back the plan. For me, it worked beautifully. I had some incredibly successful members that lost 17 stone in a year. There's men that have lost up to 26 stone. I think there's even people that have surpassed that now. I had some hugely successful members, but then equally I had some that did struggle too, and that's normal with anything that you follow. But if you take me for example now, I'm now a mum and I've got a busy life. I have a job, I have a husband, I have my twins. I love to get out and about, you know, I create content for social media, work with brands, etc, etc. And calorie counting, when I did it for 12 weeks as part of my challenge, I was doing it during lockdown and I didn't find it that hard to do. I wasn't really drinking much, and I just threw myself into it, and I think that was because I knew that there was a deadline. Long term, now I do struggle with calorie counting. I just sometimes think, oh, I can't be bothered, or I'll lose track, and then I want to make a big recipe for the boys and myself, and then I'm like, oh, now I've lost count with how many calories are in it. And you know, if you want results fast, and you want to make sure you're guaranteed to be in a deficit, counting calories is really the only way to do it, to be guaranteed to be in a deficit. Now, Slimming World was born more also to help people with the support and the motivation side of it. So I would imagine a lot of people that talk about Slimming World have never actually stepped foot in a group, or if they have, they might have just gone for like 1 or 2 weeks and then not gone back. You know, not everybody would have liked me as a consultant. They wouldn't have, and all consultants are different, but in my group I was so passionate about it. I loved helping people. I gave people support through the week. I cared, I really cared. They had the accountability factor because they were coming to me to get weighed and I was checking in and making sure they were okay. We shared food ideas, we shared recipe ideas. They said out loud what they were going to go for and they were normally more committed. We talked about, you know, all of the image therapy side of things. If they've got anything coming up that they need some support with, what are their triggers? So it's so much more than just getting frustrated and mad at the fact that they talk about free foods and they talk about sins. These tend to be the biggest gripes that I see. And they're right. They're absolutely right when it comes to calories. If you took it completely and utterly to the letter, where it says eat as much as you like of a certain food, then unless you've got quite a lot of weight to lose, potentially you might not be in a deficit. But it's almost like reverse psychology. So yes, you can have the freedom to eat foods freely, but they're only foods that are very high in satiety. Therefore, they will keep you feeling fuller for longer. So it's going to be the healthy foods. So they encourage you to eat lots of fruit, lots of vegetables. You can also have your carbohydrates and your potatoes and things. And then you can go for your protein, you can go for chicken, fish, etc, etc. So nice, filling, healthy, satisfying foods. Now, what they encourage you to do is put the speed food with it. So speed foods are naturally low in energy density. They tend to be very low calorie. And rather than counting every single vegetable, every single piece of fruit, what Slimming World advise you right now is to make sure that 1/3 of your plate at every meal time has got speed food on it, which are your fruits, your veg, etc. So naturally, that's reducing the amount of the free food that you're eating, but you're still feeling full because you're getting a whole plate of food. Therefore, you are taking in less calories, okay? So for example, 3 lovely food optimized meals would be the same calories as a pie, gravy, chips from the chippy and mushy peas. So you can have 3 plates of that lovely food for the same calories as 1 plate of higher calorie foods. So this sin thing, oh, let me just go back to that actually. So I just want to make sure I cover everything. So the psychology side of it, if you were told you can't have something all the time, so you're now on a diet, you can't have this, you can't have that, if you go over your calories, that's it, blah 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 blah, and a lot of us then turn into an inner rebel and we're like, well, if you're telling me I can't eat that, then I'm going to eat more of it. So Slimming World are like, do you know what, this is a lifestyle change, this isn't a diet as such. So we're going to put you in control. You're an adult and we're going to say, look, if, and I keep saying we, but I don't work for them anymore, but Slimming World say, you know, you've got the freedom to make your own choices, but they do also encourage you to stop when you're full. They try and educate you, or at least I did and I was trained to be aware of when you are full and you are satisfied and then stop. And they also encourage you to snack on your speed foods, so like your vegetables, your fruit. But what they do say is actually you can still have sins too. So you weigh and measure your healthy extras, because if you were to have a huge bowl of cereal, that is actually a lot of calories, but they want you to still get your fibre, because fibre is so key. So that's where the healthy extras come in. Really clever, I think. Now, where a lot of people take quite not offence, but they just don't like the phrase, if you like, or the terminology, is sins. Now, sins is actually S-Y-N-S, and it's actually just short for synergy. It isn't S-I-N-S. It doesn't mean you're being bad. It doesn't mean any of those things. In fact, it's the opposite. So synergy is all 3 parts of their plan working together as one. So they're actually saying don't knock out any of the steps. They're actually saying have these things. Now, if you're going to be eating quite a lot of the healthy, satisfying foods, that's great. That's a really healthy way to eat. But obviously they're going to have calories in. So if you then eat as many chocolate bars as you want, you're not going to be in a calorie deficit. There's no way. So Slimming World is trying to help you get in a calorie deficit without having to worry about counting every single little thing. So for someone like me, busy mum and stuff, you know, you can see why it works for so many people. The smaller I got, I would have struggled to get down any further following Slimming World, because I've just got a huge appetite. I'm a greedy person, and I tell everybody that. I don't care, you know I love my food, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I would have struggled because I wouldn't have had the choice power to restrict my portions on things like the pasta and the rice unless I weighed it. Calorie counting opened my eyes massively to the fact that now I'm smaller, I need less calories to be in a deficit. So if I wanted to lose a bit of weight, I found calorie counting actually a lot more effective. But when I had over 3 stone to lose, I didn't need to be doing that. I was naturally in a deficit following Slimming World. But synergy is you know, it's an important part of the plan. Your sins are an important part of the plan. You know, if you were to cut them out completely, then you would feel like you're on a diet, you would feel like you're deprived, and then you probably aren't going to follow something long term. You know, you're never not going to have a chocolate bar again, or a glass of wine, or whatever you choose to have for your sins. I think there's a lot of pros and cons to Slimming World, and I think there's pros and cons to calorie counting, and I've done a whole other video about that, so you can go and check that out. But I just kind of want to say really that it's not bad, you know. It's about choosing what works for you. Don't be pressured. Don't feel like you've got, you know, you get overwhelmed, don't you, when you feel confused. You think, oh, well, she's doing that, so therefore I should be doing that. You know, there's people that do Weight Watchers, there's people that do keto, there's people that do all these other plans, 5-2. Like, I could never do 5-2 in a million years, or fasting, not a chance. But it works for so many other people. So it's just finding what works for you. And I get it. I get where all these like PTs and stuff are coming from, and I respect so much of what they say. I do understand where they're coming from, but from somebody that's got a lot of experience working for Slimming World and helping people and helping them to change their lives. Yes, they paid me, but a lot of the PTs get paid too. And I don't just mean PTs, I just mean everybody that talks about this subject. And you are allowed an opinion. Like, if you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. It's fine. I just feel like I wanted to have their back a little bit and just explain it from somebody that did work for them for a long time, that did help. You know, I had over 200 people in my class at one point. It was a very successful group, and those members still really mean a lot to me, and my colleagues still mean a lot to me as well. So when I feel like it's getting bashed a bit and a bit of a hard time, it just doesn't sit very well with me, you know. And even like I said, I've tried other things. It's not about that. It's about, I just want to kind of help people understand where Slimming World came from, how it was born, if you like, and the fact that sins aren't bad, and you know, all of those things. I do think there's variations in the experience and the knowledge and the training that perhaps some people get. You might have had a negative experience with a certain consultant, and that's really sad. You know, I'm sorry about that. Obviously it's not my fault, but I am sorry about that. And equally then, you might go and find someone who's outstanding. Like, oh my gosh, I could name loads of consultants that are incredible people, so supportive. So it's just what suits you. You know, some people don't like the group and they call it happy clappy and all of that, and that's fine. You know, our groups used to be really fun, but they're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Kind of where I'm sitting with it all at the moment is I kind of want to take something from there, I want to take something from there, I want to take something from there, and I want to take something from there, and maybe try and come up with something that's like an amalgamation of all the things that I think personally do work, but maybe move them forward a little bit for this kind of like modern day era. So yeah, my brain's kind of going all over the place at the moment because it's something that I did really feel passionate about, and I still try and help people on social media with the psychology side of weight loss, but obviously I'm not a qualified nutrition. I only know about Slimming World, and I only know about nutrition from things that I've read myself and doing my own research for. But yeah, I don't know, that's kind of all I wanted to say. You know, what you've got to remember as well is that Slimming World is approved by the Royal College of Midwives, so they're very passionate about helping pregnant ladies, if they choose to maintain their weight during pregnancy. It's completely fine, it's completely healthy to follow. You've also got the diabetics booklet, so breastfeeding. They do the free to go, the specific plan to try and help tackle childhood obesity. They have their own charity. Like, Margaret she's just fabulous. She's absolutely fabulous, and she's got other businesses. Like, she does this because she's so passionate. Of course she makes money out of it, of course she does. She'd be silly not to. She's a businesswoman, you know, of course it's a business. Most people earn money from things that they talk about, you know. A lot of us, a lot of people are in business when they're talking about stuff. So yeah, obviously there's some huge costs with running something like Slimming World, so you do have to charge people. That's normal, you know, we pay for loads of services in life. But her heart is completely pure. Like, I cannot even express what this woman is like. Like, every time she speaks, I can't talk, I just listen and hang off at every word. She is just an outstanding lady, and so are all the higher managers as well. They're just phenomenal. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to have the back and just come on and have a little chat about it. I'm not slating anyone, I'm not putting anyone else down at all. I'm just giving you my point of view from somebody that is very familiar with the company. So, and to answer everyone's questions, no, I'm not going back to Slimming World, I'm not going back to work for them. This is just something that I felt like I wanted to chat about, and yeah, that's it really. So if you've got any friends or family and you think, actually, do you know what, I think they might benefit from watching this video, then just share the link, give this a quick like, subscribe for more videos. And yeah, it's a bit different to the sort of thing I normally put out there, but I just felt it needed saying. So have a fantastic day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.